Why you keep attracting the wrong people. It starts like this: you meet someone new. At first, everything feels exciting, the rush of connection, the spark of understanding. But somehow, once again, it begins to fall apart. The same patterns resurface. You feel unseen, misunderstood, or even used. And you ask yourself, why does this keep happening to me? Let's go deep into this question. Because the truth isn't just about them, it's about what's happening inside you. Chapter 1: The Mirror Effect. Every person we attract into our lives is, in some way, a mirror. Not always a mirror of who we are, but often a mirror of what we believe about ourselves. If deep down you believe you're not worthy of being fully loved, guess what? You'll be drawn to people who confirm that belief. Not because you want to suffer, but because the psyche seeks familiarity, even if that familiarity is painful. Chapter 2: Emotional Echoes of Childhood. Most of our relational patterns start in childhood. If love was inconsistent, conditional, or absent growing up, our adult relationships often echo that. You might find yourself chasing people who are emotionally unavailable, because that's how love felt early on. Or maybe you become the fixer, the one who loves in hopes of being chosen, just like you tried to earn love before. Chapter 3: Trauma Bonds and the Addiction to Chaos. When we grow up in chaotic environments, stability feels foreign. Safe people might seem boring. We confuse adrenaline with passion, conflict with intimacy. That's how trauma bonds form. You become addicted to the ups and downs, the uncertainty. It keeps you locked in a cycle where the wrong people feel right. Chapter 4: The Power of Self-Awareness. But here's the beautiful twist: once you become aware of these patterns, they begin to lose power over you. Healing starts with noticing. Ask yourself, what am I feeling when I choose this person? What need are they fulfilling? And more importantly, what am I avoiding? Chapter 5: Choosing Differently. You can't change others, but you can choose differently. It won't feel natural at first. Healthy love might even feel uncomfortable. But over time, you start to trust it. You stop chasing people who don't see you. You stop confusing neglect with love. You stop shrinking yourself to be accepted. Chapter 6: When you become your own home. The turning point comes when you stop searching for home in other people, and start building it within yourself. Love begins to transform when it stops being about filling the void and starts being about sharing your fullness. You stop asking, will this person complete me? And start asking, do we grow together in a way that honors both of us? Chapter 7: The Scar is not the story. Yes, maybe you've been hurt. Maybe many times. But the scar is not the end of your story, it's a chapter. It shows you've survived. But it doesn't have to define how you love now. The wrong people were not punishments. They were reflections. Lessons. Some came to awaken you. Some came to teach you to walk away. Some came so you'd finally meet yourself. Chapter 8: Rewriting the Pattern. Awareness is the first step. But choice is the bridge. You are no longer the version of you who had no options. Now, you pause. You reflect. You say, this time, I will not abandon myself for love. This time, I choose peace over passion, safety over survival. This time, I will recognize red flags for what they are, not ignore them because I'm lonely. Chapter 9: The Right People. Feel easy. One day, you'll meet someone and it won't be fireworks, it'll be calm. No confusion. No gut-tightening anxiety. No guessing games. Just clarity. Curiosity. A steady unfolding. Healthy love won't feel like a storm. It'll feel like coming in from the rain. Chapter 10: You are worthy, now, not later. Don't wait to be healed enough, fixed enough, perfect enough to receive love. You are worthy now. With your scars. With your fears. With your messy, beautiful story. And maybe, just maybe, it's not about attracting anyone. Maybe it's about becoming the kind of person who no longer needs to be chosen, because you choose yourself. The story of Elena, a journey through the pattern. Elena was 31 when she finally asked herself a question she had avoided for years: why do I always end up with people who leave? Her last relationship had ended like the ones before, ghosted after months of deep emotional investment. No big fights, no explanations. Just distance, silence, absence. And each time, Elena blamed herself. Was she too emotional? Too intense? Too giving? She didn't know. But the ache in her chest felt familiar, like an old friend who returned too often. Chapter 1, The Beginning, a childhood blueprint. Elena grew up in a household where love had rules. Her mother praised her when she behaved, when she smiled, when she achieved. But when she cried or expressed anger, she was told she was too much. Her father was there, physically, but emotionally, he was a ghost. Quiet. Detached. Always working or drinking. She remembered sitting at the dinner table, hoping he'd ask about her day. He never did. So Elena learned something powerful: love had to be earned. And presence could not be trusted. Chapter 2, Repetition in Disguise. At 19, she met Daniel. He was charming, older, unpredictable, emotionally hot and cold. Some days he made her feel like the only woman in the world. Other days he disappeared for hours, days, weeks. She told herself he was busy. That he just needed space. That if she loved him enough, he'd choose her fully. She stayed with him for 3 years. After him came Julian, then Max, then Leon. Different faces. Same story. Every man she dated seemed emotionally unavailable. And every time it ended, Elena felt smaller. But here's the twist: each breakup didn't just hurt. It confirmed something Elena had always feared, that she was not enough. Chapter 3, The Mirror Shatters. One night, after another cancelled date and another bottle of wine, Elena sat on her bathroom floor and broke down. But this time, something snapped inside her, not in a destructive way, but in a liberating one. She whispered to herself, what if it's not about them at all? What if I keep choosing pain because it's what I know? She started therapy. She wrote down every man she had dated, and next to each name, she wrote how they made her feel. Not who they were, but how they made her feel inside. And the list was revealing: unseen, unworthy, anxious, desperate, hopeful, briefly, then discarded. Chapter 4, Rewriting the Code. In therapy, Elena started exploring her inner child, that little girl who had to be good to be loved. She realized she had been chasing emotionally unavailable men to recreate her relationship with her father, hoping that this time, the ending would be different. But healing doesn't mean rewriting the past. It means choosing not to repeat it. She stopped dating for a while. Not out of bitterness, but out of self-respect. She started setting boundaries. Saying no. Listening to the tension in her gut instead of ignoring it. And most importantly, she began to sit with the discomfort of being alone, rather than the chaos of being with the wrong person. Chapter 5, A Different Love. 2 years later, she met Adam. He wasn't dramatic or mysterious. He called when he said he would. He listened, not just to respond, but to understand. He didn't try to fix her. He let her be. At first, Elena was suspicious. It felt too calm. No roller coaster. No high-stakes guessing game. Just warmth. Presence. Respect. And slowly, she realized, peace felt foreign because she had confused it with boredom. Chaos had been her comfort zone. But not anymore. The pattern can end with you. Elena's story is not unique, and that's exactly why it matters. Because if you've been repeating painful relational cycles, it doesn't mean you're broken. It means you're human, wired for patterns. But once you become aware of the script, you can write a new one. And that changes everything. What Elena's story teaches us. Elena's journey shows us a truth many women quietly carry but rarely name. We don't just fall for unavailable people by accident, we're drawn to what is familiar, even when it hurts. If love in childhood meant proving yourself, staying silent, or constantly chasing affection, your adult relationships may reflect those same dynamics. Not because you deserve pain, but because your nervous system is wired to survive, not to thrive. But here's the gift: awareness interrupts the cycle. Elena didn't heal overnight. It took time, tears, and courage. But the moment she stopped blaming others and started looking within, everything changed. She chose peace over chaos. Clarity over fantasy. Self-worth over approval. And in doing so, she proved something powerful: you are not broken, you are becoming conscious. But what if your pattern isn't about men who disappear? What if your pattern is choosing partners who need fixing? Who come to you wounded, and leave you empty? Let me tell you about Sophia, a woman whose love language was rescue, until she finally realized no one was coming to save her. Sophia's story: the Savior's Trap. Sophia was the strong one. The friend everyone called when life fell apart. The daughter who held the family together when her parents divorced. The girlfriend who always dated projects. She wasn't drawn to stability. She was drawn to pain she could fix. He was sweet but broken. Just got out of a bad relationship. Didn't believe in love anymore, but maybe with her. She gave. And gave. And gave. Until her love started to look more like sacrifice than connection. Until she felt more like a therapist than a partner. Until she realized she was falling apart while trying to hold him together. She thought love meant fixing. That being needed was the same as being loved. That her worth was proven through how much pain she could carry. But Sophia learned, slowly and painfully, that love built on rescue is not love. It's a performance. A role. And eventually, you forget who you are beneath it. Love is not a job. It's not fixing broken wings. It's flying beside someone who already knows how to soar, even if sometimes they forget. Sophia stopped choosing people who drained her. She stopped confusing urgency with intimacy. And for the first time, she asked, what would love look like if I didn't have to earn it? That question changed everything. Daniel's story: the fortress heart. Daniel wasn't bitter. At least that's what he told himself. He had simply grown up. Didn't believe in fairy tales anymore. Didn't believe in vulnerability, either. His last relationship had ended in betrayal. Not the dramatic kind, no shouting or scandal. Just the quiet, gut-punching realization that someone he loved had stopped loving him. And had moved on without a word. So Daniel built walls. Thick, logical, sarcastic walls. He dated, sure, but only halfway. He flirted, joked, slept next to warm bodies, but his soul stayed locked behind glass. When someone got too close, he pulled back. When someone showed real emotion, he made a joke. When someone asked, "What are we?" he suddenly got very busy. Inside, he told himself he was smart. That he was protecting himself. That he just hadn't found the one. But the truth was quieter. More painful. He was terrified of needing someone again, because the last time he did, it shattered him. Daniel's fortress kept pain out. But it also kept love out. And at night, in the silence, even the strongest walls feel cold. Healing didn't happen overnight. He started by telling the truth, to himself. That he was hurt. That he was scared. That he missed connection more than he feared heartbreak. Slowly, he let someone in. Not perfectly. Not without fear. But honestly. And in doing so, Daniel learned, trust isn't the absence of fear. It's choosing to try again, with eyes open and heart willing. From the stories of Sophia and Daniel, we start to see a pattern: we attract what we believe about love. We avoid what once hurt us. We confuse protection with isolation. We call our wounds wisdom, and wonder why we feel so alone. The truth about why love feels so hard. We grow up believing love is about finding the right person. Movies, books, songs, they all tell us that love arrives like fate, sudden and certain. But most of us don't struggle because we haven't found the right person. We struggle because we haven't healed the right wounds. We attract familiar pain. We replay old emotional blueprints. We choose what feels like home, even if home was cold, distant, inconsistent, or filled with emotional hunger. Love reveals our inner world. It shows us what we fear, what we avoid, and where we still need to heal. Not because we're broken, but because love is a mirror. And mirrors don't lie. Common patterns that sabotage real connection. 1. Fear of abandonment leads to clinging, overthinking, or chasing emotionally unavailable people. What we really crave is reassurance, but we look for it in people who can't give it. 2. Fear of engulfment. Losing ourselves in love causes us to push people away, avoid vulnerability, or choose safe partners we're not truly open to. We confuse safety with distance. 3. Low self-worth makes us believe we have to earn love, through proving, pleasing, or performing. So we end up exhausted, resentful, and unseen. 4. Unprocessed grief keeps us emotionally stuck. We replay loss by choosing people who will recreate the same ending, so we can try to win this time. So what actually helps? 1. Stop chasing intensity. Start choosing safety. If you feel anxiety and chaos early in a relationship, that's your nervous system repeating the past, not chemistry. 2. Name your patterns with compassion. You don't need to shame yourself for them. You only repeat them because they were once your way of surviving. But now, you're allowed to choose differently. 3. Start choosing people who feel boring, but safe. Sometimes love doesn't come with fireworks. Sometimes it feels calm, respectful, easy. That's not wrong. That's secure. 4. Learn to sit with your triggers instead of acting on them. When you want to run, block, chase, overgive, pause. Breathe. Ask, what part of me is reacting right now? What does it actually need? 5. Heal in relationships, not just outside of them. Therapy, journaling, solitude, all of that matters. But the real patterns only show up in connection. You can't learn trust in isolation. Final words: if you keep choosing pain in the name of love, it's not love you're repeating. It's a memory. A wound that hasn't been seen yet. A version of you still waiting to be held. You don't need to perform to be worthy. You don't need to fix others to be safe. You don't need to be perfect to be loved. You just need to be real. To meet yourself honestly. To choose partners who choose you, slowly, kindly, and with clarity. Because love, the kind that heals, isn't loud. It's steady. And it begins with you. Thank you for staying with me until the very end. If something in this video resonated with you, if you saw a part of your own story in these words, know this: you're not broken, and you're not alone. Healing isn't a straight line. It's a journey filled with lessons, discomfort, and growth. And the fact that you're here, watching, learning, reflecting, it already means you're doing the work. So if this video made you think, or maybe even feel something you've been avoiding, I invite you to stay. There's so much more to explore together. Leave a comment if this spoke to you. I read every one. Subscribe if you want more videos about self-worth, relationships, and healing. And don't forget to watch the next video, it might be exactly what your heart needs right now. You deserve healthy love. And it starts with choosing yourself, every single day.